day, everyone. My name is Alice Umoh, Mrs. I'm a baker, I'm an entrepreneur, a wife, a mother, and God lover. My journey started a long time ago when I was even in secondary school. I just love anything that has to do with baking. Though as at that time, I don't even know anything about baking at all, but I used to read books. And when I was in the higher institution doing my ND and HND, I just find out that I look for books on baking, I read, anything that has to do with baking, I just love it. And maybe I would say fortunately or unfortunately for me, I was an engineering student. I read electrical telecommunication engineering, but I just found myself just in love with baking. And little did I know that after the whole thing, my NYC, I got married, and all I wanted to do was just to bake. So I dropped the engineering work and I faced the baking business squarely. It's just a passion for me. When I started this business, I did not have anything, as in nothing. In fact, I just got married after youth service, and my husband gave me 2,000 naira. And I was thinking, what do I do with this money? So I bought flour, sugar, butter, and little things. I put them together and I started selling chinchin. And my baby one was 1 year and the other one was 6 months then. So I used to carry them. I would move from one bank to the other selling chinchin. The challenges were actually enormous for me because I did not have any equipment to work with and no money to buy a lot of things I needed to start the business with then. But I started very little with 2,000 naira, and along the way, God started helping me. I got scholarship to go to South Africa to read on bread making. I did basic and advanced training on bread making in Tlig Bakery Center, Johannesburg. And that was how the journey started fully. Because after I came back, I went back to Yabatech. I got another scholarship into Yabatech to read baking business generally. And I was there for a month. And after that, I established the bakery. Though before then, because I used to use my hand to bake. I used to use my hand to knead. I used to use my hand to do a lot of things when it comes to bread. So I was selling chinchin, I was selling cookies, and at the same time, I was using hand to mix flour to bake bread. And God helped me. President Jonathan then introduced UWIN. So I was one of the first beneficiary of UWIN. I got 10 million naira from UWIN, which really helped me to establish the bakery very well. And I really appreciate this. Then after that, I went to Building Entrepreneurs Today, sponsored by Diamond Bank through Pan-Atlantic University. And at the end of it, I was one of the top 5 entrepreneurs with 3 million naira grants, which I still use. I pour everything back into the business, and the business started doing very well. I would say Revra. Then when I started this business, social media was not really in vogue. So what I used to do, I do samples of all my products, because I used to, apart from the bread, I bake cakes, chinchin, cookies, little things, muffins. So what I do, I will bake them in little quantities. Then I will start taking from one house to the other. Then I go to church. I attend the Star Christian Center. On Sundays, I'll just bake little things and I'll give people to taste. From there, people started knowing me. I started becoming a little bit, people are aware of what I do. And from there, I was able to get many customers. So now that the age of social media has come, everybody now needs to leverage on technology. But this Revra and the tasting method had really helped my business. This is my bread. This is sweet. I call it cake loaf bread, loaf, because the ingredients, I would say that they are original. Because of what is happening in the market today, we have a lot of chemicals, or we call them replacements when it comes to bread making, because of the cost of ingredients, cost of production, transportation and everything. But by the grace of God, for we in Switbud, we still use very good ingredients to bake our bread. No additive, no bromate, no chemical. So when you are eating our bread, you know you are eating, I will call it in quotes, original, by the grace of God, and it's very nutritious, very sweet. The taste is 100%. Yes, that is around 2014, 2015. All of a sudden, I had challenges in the business, because before then, after my training with Pan Atlantic University, I was exposed to entrepreneurial skill, which really helped me. And you know, in every journey in life, there will be a time that you will experience storm. My own came very big, and before then I was on 15 bags of flour per day, and I had like 15 staffs working in the bakery. But there was a time the generator broke down, the delivery vehicle had issues, a lot of things were happening at that period that it was really discouraging. And because of the passion that I have for baking, I couldn't just stop. I just told myself that I've burned the bridge behind me and there is no turning back. Since then, I've actually, from one thing to the other, but God is still helping us till today. Because it's actually it was very strong that I wanted to close down, but I did not close down. We thank God for help from God and people that surrounded me. I would tell them not to give up. And this question birthed something in me. In 2018, I was able to join Daystar Skill Acquisition Program, which is called DSAP. By the grace of God, I'm one of the trainers or a facilitator in bread class. When it comes to bakery business generally, it's huge investment, and the capital base is very large. But I tell people, if I can start with my hand, why can't we introduce this training, this bread training in the curriculum? And the church, the organizers, they was accepted, and I introduced them using their hand to mix. Because when we're looking at spiral mixer today, we are looking at 2 million. If you are getting a small one at all, you're looking at 500, 600,000. How many people can afford this today? We should ask ourselves. So I was able to introduce bread training into this Daystar Skill Acquisition Program, encouraging people to start small. Start from, like my pastor will always say, start with what you have. What do you have in your house? What do you have at hand? When you have the training, fine, there's no money to buy spiral mixer, no money to buy big things, but you can actually, we encourage them to start small by using their hand to knead. Because when it comes to bread production, kneading is part of one of the most important process when it comes to bread baking. Kneading is very important. That's why they introduce spiral mixer. But for us, we use our hand to knead. So I will encourage everybody that want to start, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. You can actually start small. It's an elephant that you start cutting from the toe. You eat it, you cut it little by little, and you grow. By the time you start with your hand, little by little, you're able to get a small mixer you start. So even because of that now, we are trying to introduce something into the market that you don't actually need to buy all the equipment to start your bakery. I will offer my bakery for you. Come, bring in some money, we will bake bread for you. You brand it in your own name, whatever you want to do with it, then you go and sell. So you don't need to have a headache of, hey, I need 10 million naira, I need 20 million naira to start bakery business. No, you can actually partner with us. We will talk, have an agreement. By the time we finish, you bring in You give us money, we'll produce bread for you, good bread. And even before then, if you really want to start a bakery, we can take you through the training. By the grace of God, I've established bakery for people, more than 20 bakeries today, and they are all doing very, very well. They are all doing great today. So when it comes to bread business, I will take you through the training. Then if you don't have money to start, you can start from my bakery. Then we'll just have an agreement. Print your own nylon, your branded nylon and everything. We bake for you, you package, and you go and sell. This is a very, very good question for me, because without other people's help, I would have been where I am today. All this training I've been talking about, I went to South Africa, I did UWIN, I did Pan-Atlantic University and everything. Somebody was actually giving back, and I was one of the beneficiaries. So what I want to do right now is to train 300 people within 5 or 6 months. Not necessarily fully in bakery, because apart from bread training, we have other training on pastries, we have on biscuits, we have on cakes and cake decorations, we have on healthy living, how you can use oatmeal to do a lot of cocoa oats to do a lot of things. So now we want to just package like a week training, full week training, Monday to Friday, training like 300 people. Well, we have to like in section, not the 300 people will not be in a month, maybe like 50 people in a month will go through like that at the minimum cost. When I say minimum cost, like 30,000. We know what the economy is saying today in Nigeria. Every ingredient, everything is very expensive. That will cover the training fee, the certificates, the registration, and the ingredient that they are going to use in the practical. So this is what we want to do, and we're actually looking for sponsorship for people, because we have a lot of children outside, secondary school children. Their parents cannot even afford for them to go to higher institution. What do we want them to do? We need to empower them. And this is what everyone needs to really look in today. Empowering these children so that we will reduce the problem of prostitution, drug addiction, and all sorts in our society. So this is how we want to give back to the society right now. And we are hoping by the grace of God that the training will start very, very soon, so that we take in all these children, train them on basic things that they can even start from their kitchen. Not necessarily they need to rent a shop, they need to look for big capital. They can start selling puff-puff, well-packaged puff-puff. And it's not just the technical aspect of it we are going to train them. We are still going to train them on entrepreneurial, marketing, branding, human resources. And I have my team ready, that we are ready to do this, to actually give back to the society. Very soon we are going to push out on the internet, on social media, how we are going to do the registration, where everything will be online. So when it comes to the training will be physical, but the registration will be online. So they are going to have links for registration. So now I just want to encourage everybody that in life, follow your passion and never believe that you cannot amount to anything. Even with the little you think you are, maybe your own is just drawing, your own is laughing, you can be anything. God has not sent us into this world empty. If you permit me to say this, the widow in the prophet's mace in the Bible, he said, what do you have in your house? Please never give up in whatever your passion is. Work on your passion and go around, meet people, do what you need to do. Don't procrastinate and avoid laziness. And this is our bread. It's called cake loaf bread. Bromase free, chemical free. And when you are eating it, you know you are eating a nutritional food. Thank you.